Alright guys, JORDSTAR here and welcome to my Monday Night Raw full show preview video for this week's episode of Raw on Monday the 5th of January 2015, the first episode in 2015. It's a new year, it's a fresh start for WWE, and we're just 2 weeks away from the 2015 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. In this video I'm going to go through things that are confirmed and rumoured for this week's episode. So now, in December of last year, it was rumoured that WWE are going to be planning to have a huge angle on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw to hype up the start of the build towards WrestleMania 31 in March. So maybe we'll see something that hints towards a match at WrestleMania, or we could even see a match announced for WrestleMania. Maybe we see Sting on Raw for the first time ever, something between Brock Lesnar, maybe Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Triple H, maybe even The Undertaker returns. I don't know, but I think we can expect something huge this week on Raw to do with WrestleMania 31. So last week, on the final episode of Raw in 2014, they announced a huge match for this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. It will be an ambulance match between Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. This will be the first ever ambulance match to take place on an episode of Monday Night Raw. And I think this is awesome because Ambrose and Wyatt, they're in a great rivalry since Hell in a Cell. It's lasted this long. They keep having some good matches, with some good gimmick matches. They've had a TLC match. They've had a boot camp match, whatever that was. They've had a street fight. They just put always on a good match. They had a Miracle on 34 street fight, that was it. And now they're going to have an ambulance match. Surely this is going to be awesome. And surely this means we're going to be seeing a great match on Raw. And it's epic because we rarely see these matches. So hopefully these two can put on one epic match for Raw this week. Also, at the end of Raw last week, Seth Rollins forced John Cena to make the decision to bring back the Authority. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are now back in power, in charge again of everything in the WWE. Since they were out of power at Survivor Series 2014, Sting stopped them from winning the match. Maybe that's why Sting could be on Raw tonight. You never know. But this week's episode, we will see the Authority make their proper return to Monday Night Raw, and it'll be the first episode of them in charge once again. Also last week, we had an emotional speech from Daniel Bryan, who many thought he was going to be announcing his in-ring retirement. But instead, Daniel Bryan announced that he will be returning to the ring and he's going to be a part of the 2015 Royal Rumble match, which is awesome. Hopefully Daniel Bryan will be on TV from now till Royal Rumble, because it'll be awesome to see him back in storylines on Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and it'd just be great to have Daniel Bryan back on TV anyway. Also last week, we saw the huge main roster debut of the former NXT Tag Team Champions, The Ascension, and they taking on The Miz and Damien Mizdow. I think we'll probably see The Ascension take on another tag team this week, basically squashing them and putting them over as a dominant tag team. And speaking of tag teams, last week we had the WWE Tag Team Championship match between The Miz and Damien Mizdow and the Usos. The Usos actually won the match and regained their tag team titles after losing them in September to Goldust and Stardust. Maybe we're going to see the rematch on Monday Night Raw, or since The Ascension destroyed The Miz and Damien Mizdow, they get a tag team title shot maybe this week on Monday Night Raw or Royal Rumble. I don't know, but I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens between the tag teams on Raw this week. Also, last week on Raw, when it went off air, Randy Orton made his return and he came down the ring and attacked the Authority to save John Cena. There is no reason why they could keep Randy Orton off this week's episode of Raw, so hopefully we do see Randy Orton return live on Monday Night Raw this week. Also last week on Raw, we had Big Show throw Roman Reigns over an announce table and then push the announce table on top of Reigns. Then last week on SmackDown, Roman Reigns threw Big Show over the announce table and put the announce table on top of him. So I can probably say we're going to have a Big Show versus Roman Reigns match taking place on Raw this week. We had one a few weeks ago and it was boring, but because of all the tension in the past week, I think we're probably going to see Roman Reigns versus Big Show on Raw this week. Superstars that are advertised for Raw are John Cena, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, Kane, Roman Reigns and Big Show. They're all advertised for this week's show. Thanks for watching my Monday Night Raw preview video. I'm going to be reviewing Monday Night Raw on this channel on the Tuesday afternoon, the day after the show. This channel is where all the previews, reviews, results, everything like that, pay-per-view simulations are all going to be on the second channel now. To know a bit more about that, go on my main channel. There's like a video telling the whole reason why I'm doing this. But anyway, thanks for watching. Leave us